Okay. Let's see. Oh, stream health. Is this good? We are live on everything.
Yeah.
Yay. Including Steam, maybe? Let's see if it works.
Yes, it's there.
There it is. Twitch, YouTube, and Steam.
And I had 3 audios going.
Yeah, you got.
That's 100 frames.
Everything is automatically muted on my end.
Yeah.
At this point. Okay. Make sure I can see all the chats at once. Yeah, okay, you're going over there. This over here. Okay. Oh, right, Steam event. Now, refresh this. Where is the Steam on there? This is Steam community copy. Paste. Now. And there we go, Steam event live. Did it all. Will I live if I watch this? I hope so. Typhoon Flood writes on YouTube. So welcome everybody. We put out another update on Friday, and then worked on some patching throughout the week later on Friday, in order to get everything up and running for you here. So I'm going to be showing off a bunch of new stuff. So first things first, when you load up the game right now, you'll see this new direct access to our news, which gives you all of the latest build updates and everything. So if you've missed anything, you'll see it here. We're having an issue where sometimes, especially in the when you're running the game from Steam, that these are GIFs. That's why they're showing up as white squares. So we will be patching that as soon as we get a fix in for it. But what this will let me do is I'll click on it, and you won't be able to see it on the streams, but this will open in the Steam browser a direct link to that news post. You can see, oh, the Creature Chest and Wild Egg Nest update has a new setup where creatures can now carry chests. And also in the world, we're going to see wild creature egg nests. And then all these great main menu improvements, as well as some UI and game balancing updates. And then a massive list of bug fixes and everything else. So all that information now is quickly accessible, all directly from the main menu. We've also reorganized some of the stuff over here, so you can see now our profile is selected right here, and we can see I'm in my adventure game profile. And that now is more clearly directly tied with your adventure game as well as your other stuff. Each of these then main buttons give you a direct access into that game mode. So I could continue my adventure, which I will do a little bit later. I can directly jump in and create a creature. So one comment we got is, okay, I just got chicken. How do I make a creature? Instead of having to go through, the adventure mode, which is a little intimidating, starting off in the deep dark rain, now you can jump immediately and create a creature. So we're going to start by doing that. So I'll go ahead and launch that. And this will load a much smaller experience very quickly compared to sometimes the longer loads you'll see in some of the others, because it's a much smaller world. So right now it's just building our object tools and loading the small world, and then we'll be right in and be able to create a brand new creature. And that creature then will be added to our creature collection, which we can then use in creative mode, or we can set it up so it'll spawn in adventure mode. Here we go. So here I am immediately in the creature builder with all of the blocks available, which is a little intimidating a little bit. But here they all are, all the creature types. You'll see all the miscellaneous blocks, all this fun stuff. So let's go ahead and filter based off of the things. So the second thing that I've been asked to kind of show off here is our new chest, creature carrying chest mechanic. And really, how do you build a creature for that? So, creatures are really designed to, they're not really designed to carry chests, right? Oh, my voice is echoing, I'm hearing. Okay. Let me see what I can do about that. Oh, I've got one. Okay, I see what. Hang on. Test, check. There you go. I had an inadvertent extra audio setup, so it was broadcasting my audio twice. Is that better, Lazy Gaming?
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. It would been a bit annoying if I spent the entire stream echoing to you all. Anyways, so here we are in the creature builder, and I'm going to build something that has some really strong legs. So a chest is a heavy thing. We're going to put a lot of stuff in it. So in order to really support that, we're going to need something strong. So I'm going to build something that's start off with a cow base here. I'm going to use some extra large blocks as well. Let's look at the creatures here. Alright, we're going to use some elephant parts. We already grabbed some cow parts. And we'll go some pig parts as well. Okay, so now that I've filtered things down here, I can make this a little bit easier. Oops. So let's look at legs. So now we can look at actually the different strengths and abilities of these legs. And you can see cow legs, okay, those have good endurance. They're not super strong. But look at the endurance on elephant legs. So you can see cow and pig legs, not too bad. So let's put on just 2 here to see what some values are. Okay, so if I put on 2 pig legs, my max carry weight now is 256 units. Let's swap those out for some cow legs now. Now cow legs should end up being exactly the same, I believe. Yes. Now let's check out some elephant legs. Boom. Twice as much. So we can see if you really want the ultimate in carrying, you're going to want it to have some elephant legs because, oops. Let's see here. Aha. There we go. Elephant legs are really going to give us that really strong base to carry as many chests as we want. That's right, several chests. So let me go ahead, and we're going to want a bit of a wider base here to work with. So we'll go ahead and drop these legs off to the side. Transparency on that needs to be fixed. Side effect of being a developer, whenever you play your game, you're always like, ooh, there's something else I need to do. So we'll just put these in the inventory for now. Excuse me. Okay, so what I'm doing now is just building out a bit more. Nope, that's not the right size. Where is it? There we go. So what I'm doing right here is really just creating a huge amount of space to carry all the stuff that I want to carry. And now we're going to put back on the legs. I'm going to go extra legs on this as well. Since I'm in creative mode building here, I'm not limited by what I can find yet, so might as well take advantage of that for this demonstration. Then when we get into adventure mode, I'll show you what something I would build in game would more look like. Okay, let's see if I can get this one a little bit forward more. There we go. Okay, so now we got a nice strong base. Let's switch back here and let's build out a bit of a neck. So you always want to... okay, so let me answer a couple questions. Is there a mirroring axis you can use to easily build? Not yet. It is something that comes up as a common question. It is something we want to add in the future. Part of the problem is while most games you'll want to reflect over the x-axis, and a lot of times people will build stuff that isn't mirrored, so we want to make sure we have some sort of good handling for that. So if I didn't have like the blocks over here and I still wanted to mirror the legs, how should it cast to do that? It is something that I want to add in the future, but it is not in the game yet. So if it's something you really want to see, keep bugging us about it on Discord. You can also drop us a line on the Steam community forums. Here, let me post actually a link to our Discord, because that is absolutely the best way to be making suggestions like this. Okay, so sorry, that was a question on Twitch from Cash. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that right. Okay, and Steam 2, why not? So that's our Discord, in addition to our Steam community stuff, a great way to get in contact with us, to bug us about stuff like that. It is something, though, that I definitely want to add to the game, but it's also something that we've held off on because we don't want to overcomplicate the interface necessarily, so it'll have to be something that's available, but not necessarily you're thrown right into. Jumping over to YouTube, we have two questions. One, what's my favorite animal? It changes from day to day, actually, depending on what I'm playing. One thing that I've wanted to do that I'll do in a future gameplay is to do something where I play the entire game cat-themed. So only using cat blocks and cat abilities on my creatures, and then getting the cat armor and using the cat claws, and I'll be Catman.
Well, that's how I've been playing the game, actually. I have my profile open right now.
Yeah.
I have a cat armor, I have a cat creature. I don't have the cat claws, but...
Right, so it's something to work towards over time. There's a lot of fun when, it's, again, as a developer, we've logged a ton of hours. And so you come up with these different fun ways to build it. And then we really want to, when we find some of these fun ways and some of the ways that work really well, either help to shift the game so that it's more accessible to do those things, or add other achievements or Easter eggs for people who play through like that as well. Next question was, will dinosaur parts and an ocean update? So we do have dinosaur parts already. If I go back to the creature fields, we have a mech dino.
We also have dinosaur spikes.
Yes. So we have all those, and then under, there's a cow udder. If I bring in the undefined blocks, no, where is it? Oops. There it is. It's under creature horns. So we do have dinosaur spikes as well. Asking for Komodo dragon parts is something we do have on our list. We had some Komodo dragon legs in the older version, which we actually made them super, super huge. So imagine like a 10 times the size of a normal Komodo dragon.
Godzilla.
Yeah, it was like Godzilla legs, and that was kind of cool. Ocean update, that'll be something further in the future when we get to the point that we're going to be doing more biome type stuff with creatures. Right now, everything is really designed around how it would work on the land. And so we have lots of land travel and like creature flight and all the plants and the animals are all designed to work on land. So an ocean update, the problem is like, okay, any of the creatures that would live entirely in the ocean would not be able to survive on land, and we'd be creating basically a whole nother round of content for the entire game to make an ocean thing work. So there's a bunch of work in that, but we do want to get to the point where we're rolling in interesting biomes like that. Visual illusion on the net thingy. Yeah, I mean, it is a grid. So you can get a bit of a visual illusion where, like, if I focus on one part, I'll see, like, dots and the others will disappear or they'll change colors and stuff. Can you select a part to copy it by pressing Alt and clicking the part in the build area? Not right now. That is something we tinkered with. But again, it added a whole nother level of interface that we felt was more distracting than useful. We do have a lock button, though, so if I could select, like, I'll actually use that here to build a pig neck. So pig block and lock the cursor. Now I have a nice little pig neck there. Unlock the cursor. And let's put an elephant head here. Trunk. Some elephant eyes. I'm going to go with pig ears. There we go, yes. This is exactly what I want. What we got? And tails here. Let's do pigtail. Everybody loves the little pigtail. And we're going to want to give him charge. So I'm going to give him... ooh, some antlers. That'll look awesome. Let's see. What should we name him? So I'm going to answer some questions. So type out in chat what you'd like to see as the name. Okay, so me scroll back up here. You should make a story mode. Well, surprise, the adventure mode of the game is actually designed as our story mode. We just haven't revealed a lot of story within it yet. So it is definitely something we want to evolve the adventure mode in, where it's, you know, a survival adventure game. You start off not knowing a lot about the world, and as you discover more about the world, a story emerges from that. So it does exist, and we're going to jump into it a bit later. It is lighter on, you know, the actual explanation of what's going on, but you can see that the bare bones of it is there. Okay, Trunk-a-Pig, sure. Your trusty Trunk-a-Pig when you need to carry a bunch of stuff. So now I can finish building. Now we get to see one of the other quick things that are part of this new Create a Creature mode. You're immediately given a bunch of items and stuff to play around and do stuff with your creatures. So we can play fetch. Throw it a little bit further higher. Go get it. Yeah, caught it. Easy. I can brush him. Okay, now for the important stuff. So I'm going to want to put a saddle on him as he lays his belly on the ground. We're going to put the saddle right up front here. And now let's look at the new attachable. This could be in here. Chest rack. So this chest rack is, we'll see in the adventure mode of the game, is available off of the creature and what's the name of it? Why am I trying to guess? I have it right in front of me. It's the Outfit and Creature Gear Workshop, which is also where you can make those saddles I just put on. So now I'm going to put a couple of these on. There we go. And let's get some chests now. As I bump into my creature. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. And there you have it. I've just taken this creature and given him... So if this is my little area, he now has 5 of this chest area. And I can move around to each of them. And I've put them in a place. So, okay, let's say I'm in adventure mode, so I can't fly up. I can ride. Oops. Switch to this mode. Actually, I'll dismount. Now I'm on top of it, and now I can access all my chests. So put that one over there, and you can see these are distinct, separate chests. Now, if you haven't seen if it's been a couple updates and you haven't checked things out, we did add a whole new improved system to the inventory. So now, like, I want to add this here. Instead of me having to drag it over, I can shift click and boom, automatically adds it. And also, we've now explained here in this area all the other fun little things you can do. So now let's go back into our edit creature mode here, because I wanted to show you. Okay, so with all those 5 chests added, we're up to 2,000 pounds. So it's a good thing I have all these legs. I can hold up to 4,000, so I'm double of what I need. So if I just had 4 legs, like 4 elephant legs, I could support all this. But we saw the elephant legs had twice the carrying capacity as those other legs. So more legs, stronger legs are going to be the key to having more inventory if you want to carry it around with you. So yeah. Okay. Going to take a moment here to answer questions from chat. Kashk writes, for future ideas, let the creature behave like the animal head, e.g. an elephant remembering things for a long time, enemy creatures to attack, places to go, drinking water. Cats will have their own mind and not really listen to commands, but compensate via special abilities. So we are tinkering with having some more variation within the AI, but instead of it being built off the creature head, which is sometimes difficult to tell. In this situation, okay, I have elephant eyes and nose, and it's on an elephant block, but it could very easily be on a pig block. or even a dog block, and what would the head be? So instead we'd use stats that exist on all of the blocks that make up the creature to influence its personality, to push into different things. We're unlikely to do something where your creature won't listen to commands. We did tinker with that early on, and it just doesn't feel good ever. Your creature, in order to be, your tool and your pal, and you're helping each other survive in the world, it really needs to listen to you. Otherwise, it just gets frustrating. You could have stuff where, like, if the creature's health gets really low, but it's super loyal to you because of, whatever else you've done in the game or other types of stats, then, okay, maybe instead of it running away, it'll run between you and whatever the danger is, even when it's on low health, or stuff like that. So we'd have key moments when the personality might shine through, but for your regular type stuff, you would expect to see some basic functionality across the creature. Comey Lords on YouTube writes, I have an idea for an animal, a frog, and its leg would have a super jump abilities. That is definitely one we hear plenty. Frogs would be an interesting one. We have to see how it might fit in. Kangaroos would be the other one, where people who love a jumping type ability. I think right now we have the dragon as next on deck that we're looking at. But we will definitely update as we go when we get heavier into production on new creature stuff in terms of what ideas we have and what we're planning on doing. Because we do really want to make what the community wants. It just really, how does it fit in with the world? How is it balanced? How does it add to the depth and the experience of the game? Lord of the Dragons, I love the chest rack, but in my opinion, it needs to be slightly harder to make. So a big thing has always been that having an artificial barrier to crafting usually doesn't feel well, especially for something like this where it feels like I really need to have that extra inventory pretty early on in the game. So we've avoided making it a huge barrier to get, but you then do want to plan the creature around it. So right now I've planned this guy with the idea that, okay, he has the trunk to knock things back, he has a charge and he needs to run through and try to get away, and then he has these big hefty legs. But in the adventure mode of the game, I might have to make do with what I have, which we'll see when we jump over. Lazy Gaming writes, I love chicken. Awesome. Tell your friends. And Comey Load said, wants a flamingo. That'd definitely be an interesting color option. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers what I wanted to cover with the creature building. Let's go ahead and ride around. There we go. Now I'm directly controlling. And I can show off my water spray, keep any creatures back, I can strike, and then charge. So my flotilla of chests. Okay, so let's go ahead and we can stop editing the creature. Now, as you get, oops, sorry, bumped my own mic there. As you get used to creating other stuff, creating more and more creatures, you might want to revisit and check out what those creatures are. So when we get back to the main menu here, I'll show you the creature collection where you'll see all these things. Lazy Gaming writes, you should add mythical creatures. Yeah, it is something we get talked about. As I said, we're looking at adding the dragon next. That's being hidden. Let me show that. That's a fine comment to show. There's nothing wrong with that, YouTube. Okay, so now we can see I've just added this thing. You can see he's a CP 26, so he's already a super, super strong creature, and we can see we spent almost our entire budget on defense. And we compare that to some of the other creature to build. So I've created this creature in my current adventure game strictly to carry a chest. So you can see he's only a CP 8, so it is accessible, but you're not going to be able to carry nearly as much. So it's something that will evolve over time as you play the game. Hey there, buddy. So I'm going to go ahead and continue my adventure, and I'm going to invite John in to join me. Will there be monkeys? They could throw fruit. Apes is definitely one we get asked a bunch. Definitely an interesting thing. We would have to. We're planning to spend more time to improve how arms feel in the game in general, and that would obviously have to come before an ape-type creature or monkey could come. But part of it too is making sure there's good differentiation between what the player looks and feels like and what creatures are in the world. Okay, so here I am on my creature. I got both of my creatures here. Okay, so let me go ahead and open this to multiplayer. Do friends only. Chicken dev stream, so John will be able to join us. Turn to the game. So go over there. So let's take this moment while John's waiting to join us to look at the party screen. I'm gonna so you can see. Yep, I know. There it goes. So this is our new party screen. Before you'd have, you know, the party members on the right, and you'd have this big detail screen, and it was just a bit too much to see all at once. Ignore that shaking. We're working on fixing that. Here, let me. There we go. Okay, back to the party menu. So we wanted to really show off what the key information about each of the creatures were in a much faster way, and then make that additional details even more obvious. So I can jump in. Okay, now I can check all my details here that I could check before, and easily jump back. And so if I'm in combat and I really need to store a creature, I can quickly pop this open, store a creature, pop them right back out, no problem. Another big thing here is we've unveiled the level up feature. As John joins with this giant monster, John's Battle Woo.
Battle Woo. Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called, yeah, Battle Woo.
Battle Woo. Oops. So jumping back into the screen. So now, when you level up, you can basically spend blocks to level up your creatures. So this is something, as you played, you see, oh, my creature leveled up. What does that mean? Now you can actually see it. So let's go ahead. I have one dog block here. You can see, okay, that gives me just a tiny bit of experience. But as I get more life blocks, I can level up my creature, will make them more powerful. So now, instead of having to just create these huge monster of creatures, you'll be able to create the creature that you want with the abilities that you want and the design that you want, and then use those extra blocks instead of just slapping them on there. Use it to level them up. Now, this is yet another fun use of life blocks. So where am I going to get all of these life blocks? After, you know, slaughtering everything in the world, you know, it sometimes can be tricky. So we expanded out. So there used to be eggs. There's always eggs in the world. It's always been part of chicken, as John flies by on his speedy cat. So we've added larger egg nests to the game. So instead of just finding a single egg sitting around the world, you'll see things like this nest over here. Now I've already rated that one, which is how I got the blocks to make my my luggage over here. And yes, that is a Discworld reference. As I write up here, I believe there's another one that I cleared out earlier. I didn't clear out the eggs though, because I didn't have a chest carrier. There it is up there. And you'll run into these even from the early game on, so you'll be able to, from a very early on time, get a lot more blocks, and also use those blocks either to level your early creatures or anything else. So we got this one guy in here, so we're going to go ahead and take care of him. Boom, easy peasy. Oh, and I've learned a new recipe. Here, I'm going to jump off here so I can help direct my creatures a bit. Break that one. Uh-oh. Whoa! Okay, so, hey, another... Alright. That should not be statistically possible. There's a 5% chance whenever you break an egg for the creature to spawn, instead of it breaking into blocks. We broke 3 eggs, and 3 of them spawned.
Wow. we're stuck at it.
Yes. Now, it does seem like, oh, how is it? That can't be right. And like, no, the fact that it happened, like, okay, it's like, that stuff will happen. There's a 5% chance for each, and sometimes they're all going to trigger like that. Okay, armadillo, bat, praying mantis, chameleon, giraffe, and the platypus. Chameleon's one we've definitely had high on our list. We've talking about like what abilities do we want creatures to have, and chameleons would have great for active camouflage. They also have really cool hands and a tongue, a lot of great ability options. Bat has something. I love the idea of a praying mantis, but that's also, I'm giving myself a ton of work to make those animations work right. Armadillo would be cool with all of the armor plating. Something else in tradition to the crab. Oh, good. There's another egg nest up there, and the platypus also would be really cool. So that's one of our big problems. Is like, oh, all of these creatures sound really neat and would be a lot of fun to do, but how much? If we just did all the creatures that sounded cool, we'd all do nothing but make creatures. And we'd have a lot of interesting creatures, but would they all work well together? Would they make sense in the environment together? So that's the sort of thing we have to think about as we start adding these new creatures. There we go. So now you can see I'm getting tons and tons of block even early on. So a big part of it is going to be now I got to find these creatures, defeat them, and learn new abilities and stuff from them, as well as discover new parts. Let me get... Stay still. Hey. Go there. Thank you. Now I can access the chest, store everything that I already have stacked here. So you can see I'm actually carrying everything at this early stage of the game in this chest here. Because I know I'm going to want to set up a base somewhere else later on. So I've effectively, in building this one other creature, increased my inventory by like not quite double. Flame Fireflower, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate the suggestion on what to build in Discord. We already have Dinos the chicken. Yes, that's
Good one.
yeah. So let me discover this creature as John flies by. It's a pigeon. Oh, my luggage does not like it.
Oh, it's because it's a cat. Oh, poor pigeon.
There you
go. Pigeon.
Yeah. I had a high school physics teacher who would talk about pigeons. And that's all that comes to my mind when I see that. As John flies by overhead again. So one of the big things we've been working towards in terms of how we design the creatures and build them is how do we create reasons for you to build creatures in different ways. So John's little creature there is really designed as this quick riding creature. So it has the ability to fly, which he's taking advantage of, and he's combined that with fast speed and then a charge attack as well. So he's able to really move quickly and get in and out of situations, right? In a very... Oh, I discovered something. Get down there. What'd I find? Alright, Crabclaw Strike and Feather Storm Gust. Okay. Actually, I might have... Do I have enough wings? Yes. You're getting this ability right now. Oh, I used little blocks here. That's going to make this very tricky. There we go. Okay. So I've now got a new ability. My creature's CP just went way up. And now I felt like, oh man, I got too many blocks. But I don't have to resurrect my creature or anything right now. We can dump them in to level them up. So I just went up from CP 12 to CP 13 just by using those blocks. And now I got these sweet wings. Okay, there should be a temple somewhere up here. Ooh, another nest. Goodbye. Yeah, he's running away.
Good use of abilities.
And now I've got huge quantities of big blocks. So again, this is now becomes a great way for me to, okay, do I want to upgrade one of my creature with pig blocks? Do I want a pig creature, or do I want to use this to level up? So I have a lot more interesting choices. How do I want to spend my life blocks? Now, as you go up each level, the cost of upgrading gets more higher and higher, so you can get bigger, stronger blocks and all that fun stuff. Oh, here's a temple up here.
And more eggs. And a poacher tent inside the nest.
That's great. Ah! You got a poacher right under you.
There you go. Stunned him.
There we go. Oof.
That's a hardy little guy.
There he goes.
So a funny thing about the nests, if you break them, you can push the eggs around afterwards. I think.
Yep. Okay, so that was Pig and McDino things. Ooh, extra large half blocks. The strength and how tough it'll be to break these eggs is based off of the how strong the creature is that laid the egg, right?
I think so.
Okay. You could have night vision goggles. That is something that has come up. So our poachers, if you've looked at, there's a sack here somewhere. Did you already get it, or is it?
I left it.
I see it. So the poacher will drop stuff, and sometimes will drop poacher type items as well. That time he didn't. It was just blocks. But so we have stuff that isn't necessarily like what you'd make in game, but instead you can only get from the poacher. And night vision goggles would be a pretty cool one to do, but we want to make sure that whatever there is, it's kind of a poacher tech version of something that you can already get in the game.
Oh, you got a poacher chasing you. I missed.
Trying to hit us with a pipe. And now I'm poisoned. Awesome. This doesn't include you, pig. Be gone. I got the poacher at the same. Oops. There we go. Oh, that's a fun little hack. I accidentally pushed it into the rock, but then pushed it back out of the rock. So now I got some tranquilizer pellets. There we go. Oh, there's the other one. Oh, there's a thing over here.
Yeah, found it. Smash the tent.
Where'd he go? Oh no! Save me, creatures! I'm so slow. Save me, luggage. There's one down.
There we go.
Okay, that was the second one. So yeah, there's a mind controller here.
Oh, we haven't used that on the stream.
Will that work on wild creatures or only mine right now?
Only things.
Tame creatures. So, but let's say I wanted to go in, but I don't want to risk myself, but I don't mind risking my creatures. So there we go. It's like I'm riding but I'm staying in the safe place over here. Okay, so here's a great question. Vanacard on Twitch writes, "Hey, I really do like playing your game. The level up system is great, but is there any good reason to breed your own creature? I just got one of each block when I broke the egg." Yes, there is. Oh. So when you breed your creature, if you don't break that egg, it will hatch into a tame version of the original creature. Also, the longer you let the egg sit, if you still want to break it, the more blocks that'll be in it. So the egg has to cook before you can really break it to get the maximum number of things. It does show and here. John, can you confirm that the Steam stream is not just a black screen? We have
Yeah, it works.
Okay.
I must maybe try a different browser if you're having some trouble.
It could be a browser issue. But I do see, yeah, I have it open here. So
it works with Chrome. I haven't tried any other browsers.
So then here I am back over here. So it's a way to, the mind control thing is a quick way, and you can see I used quite a bit of the thing. I'm just going to leave that there. I am going to pick up this pipe, though. Oops. Store all. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and take on this temple here. It's a great question, Vanacard. Thank you for joining us on Twitch there. And I hope that answered your question. Alright, let's see what we got in here.
Who's this guy?
A little closer. Don't attack me. Don't attack me. It's a Dillafowl. More of a scavenger than hunter, the Dillafowl follow the trail of bigger hunters in large pack to feed on the remains left behind. Don't let scavenging nature fool you. They're still adept killers if the situation calls for it. And that's as much as I could read before it went away. Alright, so I'm going to start by blowing him up to the side. Go ahead, luggage. Get him. So being an adventure game, I didn't necessarily think out my strategy entirely when setting up my creatures. we both gushed it at the same time.
That was awesome. You wasted me though. Sorry.
So if I was really smart about how I wanted to set up my creatures, I would have created my luggage creature as the one I really ride with some ranged abilities, then let this guy who has a bunch more abilities be my main attacker. Blow him back again. Actually, I'm going to get some food out. Uh-oh. Luggage down.
Oh, it stunned me.
Oh, I'm not riding. There we go. Directly controlling. Egg shot. Get right up in the face. There we go.
I dropped some abilities.
Charge. All right.
And you can see the luggage's chest was dropped here.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So
oh wow!
Yeah, I've just been dumping everything I get in there.
So you don't lose items when creatures die. Just like when you die, you drop your sack, they'll drop the chests.
So now I can open up my thing here. I can revive my creature using some of these blocks I have. So now my creature's back. And now I can say, hey, pick up the chest. And there he goes. He's picked up the chest now. So I don't have to worry about it. My chest is all there. All my stuff's still there. And I can continue on. And there's another temple immediately.
Yeah, awesome. And poachers. Why not? Oh, I attacked ledge by accident. I think.
I can't see very well. There we go. Get that poacher. My creature just launched him off the hill. There's a nest down here. Where's the tent? Do they always only spawn with tents?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, we killed him.
I think we got them all.
Kami Lord writes, we should have sloths or megatheriums. All they do is sleep.
Yeah.
Actually, it'd be really funny to have like a tree that has sloths in it. So then everyone, like when you knock down one of the trees, just like you sometimes get coconuts, you'd sometimes get sloth parts. Oh, there's a crab here. Oh no, don't be stupid about it. Luggage. All right, luggage. Let's store you. Where you show yourself, crab. I'll let my creatures deal with that while I get all the sweet, sweet rewards. But it's interesting. It had. Oh, my inventory's full.
It's like right behind you trying to eat you.
Lead pipe, lead pipe. Okay, my chest is right around here somewhere. There it is. There we go. And summon you. Pick up the chest. There you go. Good boy. I guess it might be a girl. Can you zoom out your view, third-person view? Sometimes it can cut. It does. It is something that's on my list and on my radar where we really should have a third-person, especially the creature third-person camera, should be able to pull out a little bit further or be a little bit more responsive based off the bounds of your creature. So in trying to make my creature look nice here, this guy here, what I call him C, because I was being not super creative when I made him in terms of naming. So if I look at him on here, cute details. So I gave him these really neat feathers. But whenever I am trying to target abilities and stuff, the feathers are blocking my view. It'd be nice if we had basically a better offset camera for the third. So that's something we're gonna. I definitely want to look at.
More polish, like more time spent on that, right?
Yeah. Just we've spent a lot of time learning stuff with the camera system when we did the arena, and we really need to take those learnings to the third-person camera in adventure and creative mode.
It's an interesting guy.
Let's check him out before. He's got a lot of plant parts. Trifid plant. The triffids are a species of large carnivorous semi-sapient vegetation whose spores come down to Earth during a meteor shower. This plant life form can uproot itself and move about and has a lethal sting. So my first thing is to position myself very carefully, walk right up, and launch him towards John.
Oh no, I totally missed it. I'll launch him back. Oh, I hit the wall. We can play like catch with them.
Yeah. Back away. There we go. Ah, he's got charge.
Oh, yeah.
My creature's health and everything. My guy's a little low in stamina. I'm going to pull back here and feed him. What do I got here? Cooked food.
Got him.
Okay, and John took him down. Awesome. Like that dismount. I rolled off the front of my creature perfectly. Looked like I meant to do it. Therefore I did. You all saw it. No, Commulord, you're not being annoying at all. Thank you so much for all of your comments. Stop it. Go to position. There we go. Get back here. Okay, I've completely filled up my inventory. So yeah, so from here it'd be like, okay, so I've completely filled up this inventory. I really need to start doing stuff with these things. So I could be using the blocks. I could start up another base here. So I picked up a bunch of stuff from my previous base. I could go back to my original base. We could just jump into our leveling system here. I could level up the luggage a bit. It's like a lot of any of these single blocks or low quantity blocks that I have. Getting rid of those.
And you can shift like an old
oh right, it does the whole. I was doing that before, or the other one. Let me pick up everything I can pick up here. That technically level up our main guy a bit even further. Let's just dump it all in. We'll get more later. Okay, so I'm now level 9. Well, hold on. So if I wanted to collect key blocks or anything, I could also be working towards a specific item or inventory. I can now track all that. Now my creature instantly got much stronger. Past that. Okay, so I think that's just about going to do it for us today. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep playing because I am definitely having a lot of fun here. That's the way we came in. I can tell because of the tree in the entrance. So that shows off the new transportable chests and how you can kind of use that. And then as we move further and further into the world, we get bigger, stronger legs to build creatures out of and look for more nests here. This is actually a really great area here to... This would be a great area to set up a base. Idea, the Dimetrodon ability should be sail with block projectiles. And actually, that's a really interesting thing to bring up. I can't show it off because I'm in adventure mode. People have built a Dimetrodon out of our mech dino blocks already. And if you liked it, you could jump into the creature thing and then add it to something that would spawn into your game. That particular one I know happens to be pretty strong, so it might be a little difficult. But here, actually, this is a really important guy here. Let's discover him. He's the Impaler. CP6, but he's got elephant legs. See my attack formation? I'm completely blocking my view with this close in your face view.
I did drop it.
Didn't drop. But, so now we should keep an eye out for, now we know that those can spawn, we can keep an eye out for a nest. We got a, yeah, there's a temple up there in the distance. And I'm running on a good computer, a gaming computer, but it's a generation or two back at this point. I only have a GTX 1070, and I'm running a multiplayer server, 30 plus frames per second. Look how far I can see. I can see that, hey, there's a temple over there, and all those trees are spawning. Base building would be nice to see, sure.
Let me chop down some trees.
Yep.
Actually, what am I doing? I have a much better creature for this.
So now we have all of our stuff I can use to build a base. I can make more chests. I can build a hatchery. It's actually a really smart thing to do. Oh! When can you bring back the betas? So we do have a legacy mode already available on if you want to see the older game. It is a very rough experience, and it is not going to run well. We spent a lot of time improving those parts of the game, so if it's something you want to tinker around with, it is still there. It is still available in Steam. But it's not something we're updating or actively working on, so it is what it is. Okay. short on lines. Where's my creature check? Get big.
Vines?
Thought I had more.
There's some over here.
As John moves through with his deforesting machine. So here he's using the laser eye ability. So this is a big creature. It's got a decent size upkeep for him to maintain, but it also has a very strong laser eye attack, which is good for a lot of things. Enjoy it for now. It's not something that might get nerfed in a future thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that I have all these things, I could be building. So I have my structure workshop here. Build a light beacon here. Go ahead and assign my creature to it. Come over here. He's a little on the big side. You go over there so you're out of the way. You come over here. There we go. He's only going to put a couple legs on there. He's technically can fit on the treadmill, but he's not. Doesn't do a great job staying center. Speed him up. So Kami Lord has huge recommendations of a large number of dinosaurs. I would love to do a biome that's like a full dinosaur biome. Even before that, I think for me, what I'd love to do is a Land of Giants thing where we do huge like mushroom and grass as the trees, and then all of the creatures are these normally tiny creatures, but they're giant versions of them. So here I'm going to we're going to mark this area. This is our beacon here, and now it's going to show up on the map as well. So we can see like, oh, here's one of my previous homestead where I built it. It actually gets marked on the map, and now I'm building a beacon here, and I'm going to build a homestead here as well. Let's see here. The homestead is marked because I have a temporary structure over there. Is that right, John?
Yeah, I believe so.
Let's take a look at my tool workshop as well. I haven't seen what I have. Okay, I got a few things I still need to make, and then the last one, outfit gear. So if you're looking to build the new chest rack, it's right here. It's a riding blanket, which takes 10 vines, an additional 4 vines, and some wood. So it's not super expensive. The real trick is the creature strength to use it. As John is going through decimating the countryside. Let's see here. So now I could start building, like, let's get some floor. Can you read, please? Sure. The Brachiosaur, the Spinosaur, the Sarcosuchus, the Allosaurus, Raptors, Titanoboa, Oviraptors, Troodon, Ankylosaurus, Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus, and Casks on Twitch writes, the game looks really nice. Definitely an interesting concept, not seen anywhere else. So compliment you. Thank you so much. Again, we're live on Steam. We're playing the live version of the game. It's all available right now. Let me pop open the store page here and post it on different things. If you haven't checked out the game yet, that is our store page. This has been the adventure mode of the game. We also showed off the creature builder. We also have a creative mode of the game, as I'm getting trapped here. There we go. Big creatures pushing me around. So please check us out on Steam there. And here I can start to build a nice little house here very easily on this beach. Which I think is the exact, it's a very similar looking beach as the one that you built your base in your game, John, that we were playing last.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice scenic area.
I'm just struck that this is a procedurally generated world, so, like, the fact that it happens to have a somewhat similar thing. Oh, now I just built, just told it to build exactly enough walls. And now John's adding floor. That'll be the porch. A giant stale, and you can build a base on it. Actually, that's just something that keeps coming back. An early version of the game, we let you place structure blocks directly on creatures. And then later on, we actually built creatures that were also buildings, like just using life blocks. Somebody built a Baba Yaga hut, which was a walking hut that would then devour you. It was awesome. A bunch of chicken legs. That was a Squid King creation, I believe.
Yes.
And this chest attachment is kind of showing off the same tech that we can use to, if we wanted to eventually allow you to build on a creature even more. Okay, start with these ones. I'm gonna need a door.
So
I don't
stone.
have any, I'm not gonna make any glass.
See any rocks?
I have some. There's some rocks in my chest, I believe, on my cat.
Here, I can laser them and get some glass.
It's all right. I don't need a window.
Let's see, let's see if we get like glass.
Because then we have to process it on fireplace, don't we?
I didn't get it. I got iron. I don't remember. Probably.
Let's see. I want the door to open. Yeah, that way. Actually, see that this wall is backwards. This is something we might switch in the future. We have the walls are sided, so depending which way I cast here. I think I built this from the inside. There we go. And my creature has been working so hard to get this set up that he's now hungry. I'm gonna run out of food before long because I haven't been cooking. Oh, I only brought a little bit of cooked food for this adventure. So like the next thing would be we'd want to get set up. If
Yeah, I
we're gonna
got
build a full
cargo.
base, you know, farm. Or, yeah.
I don't have so much meat, but
We'll do it this way.
I do have a cleaver. I'll make some.
We made our nice little house here with a porch. Actually, here we'll make it an enclosed porch. So the kind of key the reason to build a base is to kind of create a center here where I can store stuff as well as create a farm to start harvesting more resources in addition to the eggs and wild stuff in the world I could plant and create my own farm so there's a reliable source of stuff and then be processing all that stuff. Okay, there we go. That's my nice little house with a porch. And we're going to cut it here because we have, as you can see, there's lots and lots of stuff to do, and I could just keep playing this game. But at the same time, there's lots and lots more that we want to do. So we have to get back to work. We don't get to just play the game all the time. You can play the game. You can go download this right now and be playing this whole time where we're stuck working on it. So I highly recommend that for our sake. Enjoy the game. And thanks so much for stopping by and checking out a chicken. So have a great week. And we'll let you know what we're up to next. And please stop by our Discord or send us a message on Steam. If you are playing the game and you're enjoying it, please leave us a positive review. As a game in early access, a positive review is worth its weight in gold. It tells other people that yes, this is a good game, that this game has promise, and that they should invest in it, which helps us to get even more done. And that's really, really important to us. So thanks so much for joining us. We're going to sign off now. Bye.
Bye.